It is time. Oh my goodness. Wrong mic. No, the mic was not close to my face. Yeah. Oh, Nicola, that card is the reverse platinum card. So it is like, except for the main character, everything else is hollow, and the main character like pops out a bit. But yeah, welcome everybody. Yeah, of course. I needed to wear the red Lacoste shirt. We're getting into we're getting into teaching territory. But yeah, hello everybody. Nice to see you all. It's so good to have you. And in this wonderful day, it's sunny, it's hot. We literally reached 28 degrees today where I am. Oh, you got a crackle. Nice. Oh my goodness. I didn't get that one. But yeah, so, oh god, no. Like, I'm not an architect, Matthias, don't worry about it. You are, yeah, that's a good card, Nicola. But yeah, so, unfortunately, Nicola, that doesn't sound like a red Nova Dragon to me. I don't know about you. But yeah, so, as I said, since this is gonna be the last stream for today, and we are... That's it. Just buy the fucking single. But yeah, since this is gonna be the last stream for this week, and since we finished 007 First Light, the last stream on Monday, I wanted to do something different. And this is something I have been like kind of like having the idea of doing like a presentation / lecture stream for anything for a long time, but I never had like either the being comfortable enough to do it or having anything too interesting to talk about. Well, I decided to say fuck it and do one anyway. And like literally when I say fuck it, I mean I made these slides in 3 hours, people. I literally came back from work yesterday, sat down, made most of them, and I made some of them literally just before the stream. So I might have done something similar to this with fighting games, but it's been a while if I did. Do the things on the presentation appear on the test? Oh brother, oh Viking, you you will find out soon. But yeah, before we start, first of all, I want to thank every single one of you for being here, and thank you for actually being excited to learn about Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, a couple of things before we start the presentation. As I said, I literally made this in like 3 hours. So I didn't manage to put everything that I wanted to talk about today into it. Probably for the better, since this is probably gonna take like about an hour, 2 hours maybe. We'll see how it goes. And number two, I'm excited just for you. Thank you, Harster, and also welcome, friendo. And also, some of you already know a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! So even though I added some basic information, I haven't added too much of that basic information. So for example, we won't be talking about the different types of monsters in the extra deck, or in detail about the different types of traps and spell cards. We are going to talk about things that many people don't explain in this game as easily, because unfortunately Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not as popular as Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering has scientific papers written about different play styles, different like game theory and everything like that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have that, unfortunately. It's not as popular, thus not many people give it as much attention. You can find information about anything online, but you have to search quite a bit more than if you would like in Magic the Gathering, for example. Yeah, because Magic the Gathering players are less intellectual than Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. We say that, yet we don't read, Nicola. But yeah, with that said, I wanted to talk a little bit more about some concepts, some easy to explain concepts, like some understandable concepts, and some like information that is vital, but is something that I don't talk about a lot when I'm playing the game, and other stuff that is very interesting, kind of vital, and not a lot of people talk about it, especially when it comes to newcomers. So I'm a concept. Oh boy, I hope I don't disappear from the from the population, like for the completely mindscape of the population then. But yeah, so the reason is we need problem-solving card decks, Nicola, because of how we write our cards. But yeah, so a lot of this stuff is stuff the way made this presentation was stuff I wish I knew when I started playing the game. And the main reason that I'm doing this is because now that we're I've been playing the game on stream a few times as well, once in a while, and we also open card packs. I think this is gonna be information that you guys might find interesting, and most importantly, when I talk about the cards we open, you won't hear random Greek noises about me talking about the game that you don't understand. No, these are not the important questions, Nicola. But yeah, so that's the plan. Obviously, you're free to ask any questions. Hopefully, it will be understandable. And I will be... and yeah, at the end of the presentation, please let me know if this was good or anything like that, or if it helped in any other way. Hopefully, for example, there will be some people here that probably they won't benefit a lot from this. Luke, if he's here, Nicola, and Jade, you guys play or used to play the game a lot, so you probably know most of the stuff we're gonna talk about. Do we raise our hands? No, just type the question, it's fine. Are phones allowed? I mean, I can't stop you. This is a COVID era lecture. But, hopefully it's okay. At the very least, we don't have any Zoom calls, so we're not gonna get invaded by any... used to. Not you, Jade, but Nicola. Can I use Edo Pro or do I have to use Master 2? You can use whatever you want. We're talking about the game in general. But yeah, with that said, I think it's a good time to start. I don't know how long this presentation will take. I need to say this right now. I have no idea how long this presentation will take. I didn't have time to test it. So please understand. All right. So, and it's gonna be basic. Where is the presentation? Here it is. Timmy, don't you worry. Can I use Gork to AI generate my cards? No. Those are not legal cards. Is it more or less than 2 hours? No idea, Matthias. We'll find out together. As I said, I literally finished making the slides for this 10 minutes before the stream. Can I bribe the teacher with cardboard packs? We'll have to see. Can I use Victory Dragon on this test? No, not a legal card. Alright, but yeah. So, some red eye zombie necro dragon wipe out question be off the field. Oh, you won't be able to do that. Don't worry, the questions, they're not many of them, and they're not hard, as long as you pay attention. Pot of Greed still banned? Yes, although you can play him you can play it in Genesis. Oh, don't worry, we have a section for these kind of cards in this presentation, Viking. Alright, so, Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. Understanding the basics of the complexities of Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially, that's how I called it. This is literally just the basics. I didn't have enough time to be able to write a lot of the things that I wanted to go into details with, but there is other times. There we go. So welcome everybody. Again, as I said, we're trying something different with the stream today. I will try and probably fail to show you guys some of the intricacies of Yu-Gi-Oh! I will be skimming through the basic stuff, although I will be talking a little bit about it. In order to get to the basics of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially, majority of this presentation will be about deck building, archetypes, and card roles. You will see how when we go a bit more into it. As I said, feel free to ask any questions if you don't understand if you don't understand something, and there will be questions throughout the presentation. And chat, if you answer them correctly, you will unlock extra packs to open on stream. So fucking pay attention. Again, there is rewards in this. You will be getting something. Yes, Timmy, what's up? Wait, am I allowed to answer them? Everybody's allowed to answer them. It is a team effort, yeah. I'm giving you, it is a team effort. I need a toilet break. Well, you can go to your toilet, but you will miss the start. 5 minutes, fuck off. Just I need a goon break. I haven't even put a Wi-Fi on the screen yet. Wait for that. Jesus Christ. Teenagers. Are war crimes allowed? Well, there will be a couple. But yeah, so let's start with the basics. Here is the board. can you guys see my... Oh, you can see it. All right, perfect. Here is the Yu-Gi-Oh board. This thing has changed over the years here and there. We have some new extra monster zones. The last addition we have here. We have the pendulum zones on the spell and trap card zone. These are still acting as spell and trap card zones. But they used to be up there, the pendulum zones. Now they're down here. And then the rest of the board is literally the same. We have the field card zone, the monster card zones, the extra deck zone, the graveyard, and the deck zone. This is where your deck goes, this is where the graveyard is. Above here is the banishment zone, but it's never shown, I don't know why, in any of the boards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we have 5 monster card zones and 5 spell and trap card zones. You need to know, if you want to play a spell card, except if it is a field card that goes here, you need to have a free zone to put that card in. If all of these are like face down trap cards, for example, you cannot play a spell. Remember this. It's not gonna come usually, but it can happen, especially if you're playing a trap deck. And the same thing with monster cards. You can play up to 6 monster cards. One of them needs to be an extra deck monster. That's why it's called extra monster. Yeah, technically banishment is not supposed to be on the board, but the banishment is usually cards are put like sideways on top here for banishing. It's important. Are there snacky breaks during the text? No, but you can eat snacks as I go through the presentation. People put it there, convenient, but I don't think it's supposed to have them to be easily accessible. With how banishment, some cards act from banishment nowadays, it usually is up there. Isn't there 7 slots for monster cards? No. So here's the thing, Matthias. If one player uses one of these, the other is reserved for the second player. You cannot use both of them except for very, very specific situation, which doesn't come very often. But this one, Matthias, was introduced for link summons. Link summons are monsters that have like arrows and they can only link summon another link monster where the arrow is pointing. I'm not gonna go into the intricacies of this, but the extra monster zone is including the opponent as well. Alright. Now, turn phases. Let's start with the very basic here. Turns. Each player takes a turn. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Turns are not going like... Oh, fuck, my face. Yeah, let me move it. I will be moving it all around. Thank you for the pot of greed there, Timmy. I'm gonna put myself right next to it for here. I will move myself up there again. But yeah, so... Are pendulums different from magic and traps? Pendulum monsters, Viking, even though I'm going to talk about them today because it's a bit different, because they're a bit complicated, way too complicated, fuck them to be honest. They are both monsters and spells. If you and you can only activate them in the pendulum zones as spells, but if you activate them in the pendulum zone, you use the spell card text they have. If you activate them in the monster zone, you use the monster effect card text they have. That's how they've done it, essentially. Now, turn phases. Turns, as I was saying, in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not like Magic the Gathering. In Magic the Gathering, how it goes is like player 1, turn 1, player 2, turn 1, player 1, turn 2, player 2, turn 2. That's not how it goes in Yu-Gi-Oh! In Yu-Gi-Oh! It's turn 1, player 1, next turn is turn 2, that is player 2's turn 1. But that's how they do it. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. So each turn has 6 phases. There is the draw phase, the standby phase, the main phase 1, battle phase, main phase 2, and end phase. Now, here's 2 important things. Number 1, there is no battle phase, there is no battle phase or main phase 2, I forgot to write that here, in turn 1. Turn 1 doesn't have battle phase or main phase 2. Doesn't have battle phase because, it would be like fucking unfair. Like first turn kills will be, every tech would be able to do them. And because of that, there is no main phase 2 because there is no other like reason to do this. So it's like Fire Emblem where you act all your units, cards, and then next turn your opponent does the same. Yes, very, very similar to that, Matthias. But there are ways for your opponent to also play cards during your turn. in many ways. Remember that if your opponent says draw phase, standby phase, main phase 1, you're cooked. Lil bro is going to either Nibiru your arse or evenly match. No, evenly match would be if it says battle phase, end of battle phase. Nick's nice smile, Nick. Oh no, what did I do? What did Timmy do? Oh, sorry, yes. Evenly's main... No, it's not main phase 2. Evenly's end of battle phase. Timmy put the poke on your face. Perfect. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, by the way, turn 1, on the first turn, the player does not draw a card. Both players start with 5 cards. The player that plays turn 1 does not draw a card. But draw phase still exists. Remember this. So... And also... during draw phase, you can only normal summon or activate spell speed 1 effects. Don't worry, I will explain what spell speeds are in a later slide. During the main phases, that's why main phases are important. Main phases is where the majority of the game takes place. Pot of Nick or Nick of Greed. I would say Pot of Nick. But yeah, so that's kind of like how the turn phases work, and then turn 2, you go the same thing. Alright. There are 3 card types in Yu-Gi-Oh! There is monster cards, spell cards, and trap cards. Again, I'm going through some of the basics, but we're gonna go like fast. Monster cards. You know him. There are 2 groups of monster cards. There is the main deck monster cards and the extra deck monster cards. You can only normal summon a monster card once per turn, except if a card effect says otherwise. There are some cards. Bro, that's the fake one. It's the best one. You should have shown the real one. There is so many of them. I just found one that it was good quality. You can special summon as many times. You can only normal summon once per turn, except if a card effect says otherwise. There are some card effects that gives you additional normal summons. And you can special summon monsters as many times as you want, which many people have also said. Why is then not special summon the normal summon, since you normally special summoning? But whatever. This is like a leftover of an older era of Yu-Gi-Oh. Mind you, be careful on the restrictions that cards will apply when you special summon stuff. Once summon, a monster card stays on the field, on the monster card zone that we saw before. Monsters summoned from the extra deck are always special summons. That's another thing that is important. Now, Dark Magician here is a normal monster, as it's called. AKA, they have an attack and a defense stat, and that's it. They have levels, they have attack and defense, and that's it. One thing that I didn't explain here is if you want to normal summon a monster that is level 5 or above, you need to do what it's called a tribute summon. Between level 5 and 6, you need to tribute 1 monster from your field in order to normal summon them. From level 7 and up, you need to tribute 2 monsters from your field to normal summon them. That doesn't come in play very much anymore, but I'm just saying it just to cover all my grounds. But yeah, normal summon monsters, they have attack, defense, levels, and that's all. They don't have anything else. Effect monsters, on the other hand, no, not like fusing. Fusing is a bit different, Matthias. I'm not going to explain it here, but usually fusing, you don't use... those monsters are not tributes. They're materials for fusion summoning, which can play a different role. And usually for fusing, you require to have an effect that starts a fusion summon. Fusion summon most of the time does not happen by just 2 cards on the field. Or second, these nuts. Wait a minute. This is the pre-errata one, if I'm not mistaken. Effect monsters have an effect they apply if they meet certain conditions. Yeah, that's not the errata. I know, Nicole. I thought that it would appease a little bit the boomers in the chat. Effect monsters have effects that they apply if they meet certain conditions. Like Sangan, for example, as it says on the text. This is the pre-errata Sangan. They needed to nerf him. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add one monster with 1,500 or less attack from the deck to your hand. That's the condition that you need to meet in order to... The condition is that you need to, like, send this card from the field to the graveyard. And the effect is add one monster with 1,500 attack or less from your deck to your hand. There are many different ways a monster effect can trigger, but the card will always specify. Remember, reading the card explains the card. Graveyard is where the monster is put. If someone kills it, kill it, discard it, tribute it. That's where usually monsters that leave the field or your hand for payment or anything like that go, Matthias. Yes. Wow, I'm leaving. I'm sorry, Viking. All monster effects are spell speed 1. Again, we'll discuss this in a later slide. Except for quick effects that are spell speed 2. Then we have spell cards. Look at this. It's an oldie but goodie. Monster Reborn, you know. Many of you know it. Favorite of many people. Target one monster, either player's graveyard, special summon. Spell cards can be activated from the hand or from flipped face up on the spell and trap zones during your turn, except for quick play spells, which can be activated during your opponent's turns as well, if they were set face down on the previous turn, though. This is important. Like, so every spell except the quick play spell, if you set it face down on the field, you can activate it by flipping it face up whenever you want. But quick play spells are like kind of like traps. You can activate them whenever you want from your hand during your turn, but if you set them on the field, you cannot activate them at the same turn you set them down. But if you set them on the field, they act like trap cards, which means that you can activate them during your opponent's turn. But again, spell cards, once the effect is activated, another very important... That's weird. It's mostly like it's the strongest version of a spell card, Matthias, because not only you have the ability to activate them from your hand whenever you want, during your turn, you also, and I do mean whenever you want, unlike other spell cards, Matthias, quick play spell cards can be activated in other phases as well, not only the main phase. They also have the ability to be activatable during your opponent's turn if they were set face down on the previous turn. The reason why they do the thing of like, if you set down a quick play, you can activate it in the same turn, is because they want them to be like trap cards. Like they want them to be kind of like a trap as well. And also, they want you to be committed to your play. Like if you go like, yeah, I'm gonna set this down, and then you go to end phase, and the opponent does something during the end phase, they want you to have a little bit of a price to pay if you want to use them during your opponent's turn as well. And yeah, once the effect is activated, very important here, the spell cards don't need to be on the field for their effect to resolve. If a spell card effect is activated, they don't need to be on the field after their effect has been activated for the field to resolve. Except for spell cards that stay on the field when they activate, like continuous spells and field spells. Those need to be on the field for their effect to resolve. So if their opponent destroys a continuous spell card when you activate it, the effect won't resolve. But that doesn't work if they do it for a normal monster spell. For a normal spell card. All spells are spell speed 1, except for quick spells, as I said before, that are spell speed 2. Trap cards! Look at this bad boy. Look at this boomer card. I loved this card when I was a kid. Trap cards are cards that, in order to activate, they need to be set on the set and trap zone the previous turn. And then you can activate them by being flipped face up. Like, you know, you activated my trap card. Usually when a condition is met. like spells, they don't need to be on the field after the activation has begun for their effect to resolve, except for traps that stay on the field after activation, like continuous traps. To be honest, there is not many trap cards like that, but continuous traps are one of them. Traps are spell speed 2. With counter traps, a specific set of trap. Is trap hole euphemism for us? No, it's literally like a trap hole. Where's the bullet point saying 99% of dog shit? No, look, this is a bit more of a normal, like, I'm not... This is written by a guy who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Casually. Not for, you know, those people that go on Yu-Gi-Oh! On the Yu-Gi-Oh! YCS chat and just say, like, why is, like, 98% of the cards not banned so I can finally play, like, Gold Beatdown again. Also, hello, Luke. Good to see you. But yeah, trap cards are spell speed 2, with counter trap cards being spell speed 3. And counter traps are the only ones that are in that speed category. Alright, question time, everybody. Oh, there is a test. Yeah, I mean, there is a couple of questions. But yeah, everybody, are there counter spell speed 4? No. There is, for those who are interested, there is spell speed 4, which, again, we'll talk about spell speed soon. Spell speed 4 doesn't exist, but there is a couple of cards that the player base will call them spell speed 4, like Super Polymerization, a card that says, like, there cannot be any responses on the activation of this card. There are very few, so that's it. But yeah, question time. I hope you were paying attention, because here's the question for you guys. It is player's 2 turn. Player 2 is activating Monster Reborn to resurrect a monster from the graveyard. In response, player 1 activates the trap card Dust Tornado to destroy the Monster Reborn. Will player 2 be able to resurrect the monster from the graveyard? No or yes? That's the only thing that you need to tell me. Also, can you increase the spell speed? No. No, you cannot, Viking. Spell speed is a thing that is categorically together with the type of the card. So there hasn't been anything... There has been some niche cases for that, but very niche. One of them, we saw it on one of the previous Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams we did, actually. On player 2, because I paid off the rep. Because that tornado doesn't negate. If it was MST, however, it would be negated. No, that is not true. That is not true. No, don't listen to Luke. Luke, shut the fuck up. Spreading misinformation over there. But yeah, you were right. Yes, he would be able to do it. As I said before, Monster Reborn is a normal spell that has already activated its effect before it was destroyed, so the effect will resolve. If Monster Reborn was a continuous spell, then the effect wouldn't resolve, because the continuous spell needs to be on the field to resolve its effect. Like Called by the Grave, which is a continuous trap card. That one wouldn't. Do I get a quickie now? No, but you unlock 2 extra packs to be open on the stream today. Oh god. Alright, Chain Link. Oh god. Okay, so... alright. Oh, did I say Call by the Grave? Sorry, I meant Call of the Haunted. There we go. Sorry, Nicola, you're right. Alright. Chain links. So, this is important for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! If multiple effects are activated at once. So, for example, if you have like a card that you summon, like a monster card that you can special summon from hand by sending a card to the graveyard, and then you special summon it, and then the card, yeah, like exactly, Nicola, but essentially, so no, like let me give you a better example. If you summon a card, and then your opponent has a response for that card, like activating an effect. If multiple effects are activated at once, or if an effect of the same or higher spell speed activates in response to an activated effect, then a chain link is activated. If you played Magic the Gathering, you know this as stacking, because that's how the chain, the chain, as it's called, Like then a chain is activated, not a chain link. Sorry, I should rephrase that a bit. A chain is activated. But yeah, in Magic the Gathering is called as the stack. And the easy way to understand this is for a chain. So let's say multiple effects are going into the chain, right? The main thing that you need to remember, as Nicola stated on the chat as well, is that the resolution of the effects of those cards goes in reverse order from the order of them activating. So, essentially, let me give you a very simple example. Monster Reborn activates. That's Chain Link 1. Dust Tornado is activated by the opponent to destroy Monster Reborn. That's Chain Link 2. No other activations happen, the chain resolves. The first card effect that resolves is Dust Tornado's effect, because that was the card that was activated last. And then Monster Reborn's effect activates after that. So essentially, the chain resolves at the opposite way of the order of the cards activating. And that's it. The diagram here is an official diagram from Konami that kind of like explains a little bit how the chain goes. So the game state is open. Game state being open means that you have like that no action has been done and nothing has been doing. Like main phase, like you go into main phase 1. All right, we're here. It's like, so the person wasted a tornado card. In this example, yes, Viking. But remember, the tornado card can like hit face down trap and spell cards as well. And yeah, so the game state is open. The turn player, the players whose turn it is, may perform an appropriate action. Like, for example, in May phase, they can an appropriate action. But be careful, as it says here, turn player, there are actions that do not start a chain. This is important. Normal summon or set of a monster, sending a card, special summon that does not start the chain. There are some special summons that happen immediately, like you just slap the card down. But there are other special summons that happen after an effect is activated. That does start the chain. Declaring an attack, change battle position, etc. These are actions. Cyber Dragon, yeah, exactly. These are actions that don't start the chain. If this happens, then the opponent still needs to wait if any effect activates from this action after that action has resolved. So normal summoning a monster, that does nothing. But there are effects that says if a monster has been if this monster was normal summon, do this effect. If that happens, then we have an effect. Does the what it goes monster trigger effect? Then we have chain rules. Like, can the opponent activate the card or not? Like, does turn player can activate an effect? Opponent can activate the fast effect. And then there is a back and forth. So you do an effect, the opponent has the opportunity to do an effect, then it passes back to the turn player to do an effect, and go on, you know, they all does slapping stuff, just putting more activating effects everywhere. And then once both players goes, I pass, and then the other player passes as well, then chain is done, it's about to resolve, and you go opposite. And you go like the opposite, the reverse order, there we go, in order to get the effects. And yeah, that's kind of like what the chain is and what chain links are. This is important because in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Chain links happen all the time. Spell speeds. This is the thing that is quite important, and you can play a lot around it as well. There are 3 spell speeds in Yu-Gi-Oh! There is spell speed 1, 2, and 3. You can respond to an effect activation of the same spell speed or higher. If it is not your turn, it usually means that you will respond with spell speed 2 and spell speed 3. That happens because spell speed 1 cards are usually cards that are activated during the main phase of your turn and you start the activation. Spell speed 2, on the other hand, are the fast, quote unquote, the quick effects, the quick spell effects, the trap effects, and those are effects that you can do during your opponent's turn as well if you have set it correctly. Go figure out if a monster card starts a chain when special summon, look for a colon or a semicolon with its summon condition. Oh god. Problem solving card text. Although I'm not gonna talk about problem solving card text right now, look, because I need to study it a bit more in order to do a presentation for it. But, and this is important, you cannot respond to the activation of an effect with an effect of lower spell speed. So if your opponent, for example, activates a trap card, you cannot respond to it by activating a normal spell from your hand. Yeah, does that mean it's better? It's better to have higher spell speeds? It's not better, it's just like a kind of a rule, Matthias. A card having a higher spell speed is good, but there is not too many of them. And many cards have different like functions as well. So, but it's important to know because like how you prioritize like in the chain takes precedence depending on the spell speeds. It's better to have higher spell speed like always. I mean, hey, true, but you know, Lightning Storm is fine on the effect that it is on a normal type spell. But yeah, like technically it's better to have a higher spell speeds, but it's cards, not all cards will have it by any means. There needs cards to be normal summoned as well. Like a counter trap. Oh yeah, absolutely. I was about to say that on this slide as well, Luke. That makes counter traps quite strong since they are the only cards that can respond to them are other counter traps. So if they do like a specific like chain, right? And then one of the next player that is on the chain that wants to activate something activates a counter trap. If the other player doesn't have a counter trap, that's it. The chain is complete. Even if they had like a spell speed 2 effect or card that could actually benefit them for the whole chain, they cannot activate. They're stuck. So it's really, really good. Like that's why counter traps are quite strong, and that's why there are not that many of them. But yeah, that's kind of a spell speed. The main thing you need to remember is you can only respond to activation with the same speed or higher. That's the main thing that you need to get out of here. And that counter traps are spell speed 3. All right, question time. Don't worry, there are not going to be too many questions, but I had enough, but I thought of a couple of them early in order to keep your attention in here. All right, so how do I see which speed the spell is? You don't. Unfortunately, Viking, this is something that you just like learn as you go. The main thing that you need to, the easiest way is that almost every card is spell speed 1. The only things that are spell speed 2 are quick play spell cards, most trap cards, and quick effects on monsters. Like usually there is quick in the name, except for counter traps that are spell speed 3. Everything else that I didn't say are spell speed 1. So the majority is 1. You kind of like, it's easy to understand once you like see the cards once or twice. All right, question time. Player 1 activates a quick play spell during your turn. They had it set down and they activate it. What card effect can you activate in response to their quick play spell activation? Can you activate 1, a normal card, a normal spell card, 2, a trap card from your hand, 3, a quick play spell you set this turn, or 4, a quick effect of your monster on the field? All right, and you can just type the answers in the chat. Well, all right, look, look, I know what you mean with the potentially, but I'm just saying like but normal stuff now. Trap card from your hand, yeah. Um, no, Nicola. He means imperm or like or red reboot. There is a couple or like Um, no, well, not to look. Okay, but yeah. All right, you got it. Most of them are four. To humanized hummingbird. what? What is that tiny thing over there? Shaking, dancing. All right, but yeah, the answer is four. Let me explain to you guys why the others are not correct. One normal spell card is spell speed one. You cannot activate it. Quick play spells, as we discussed, are spell speed 2. Trap card from your hand. You need to set a trap card and wait a turn before you can activate it, so that's not happening. Quick play spell you set this turn, 3. No, because that, as I stated previously on the lecture, a quick play spell that is set in the same turn cannot be activated that turn. It needs to be the next turn to activate a quick play spell that is set. If it was in your hand, however, yes, you would be able to do that. Absolutely. Unfortunately, because it was set during that turn, you couldn't do it. And 4, a quick effect of your monster on the field. That is the correct answer because, as I stated before, quick effects of monsters are spell speed 2. But what if you did set the trap card from the previous turn? If you did set the trap card from the previous turn, Matthias, absolutely you would be able to do it. But that's why I specified from your hand. But what if I asked nicely? No. No, I'm sorry, Matthias. That's not how it works. All right. But yeah, well done, everybody. You unlocked 2 more packs. What if I paid off the ref? Good luck. The other options, as I said, are either a lower spell speed or not a legal activation. Okay, we're not gonna have questions for a bit now, but for now, it's time to get into the more abstract stuff of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is like, and I need to say this right now, this is from my experience. Obviously, I'm not a professional Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. I'm not a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player or anything like that. I play this game casually because I like it on Master Duel. Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is cheated. Why can't I cheat? Because you're not the main protagonist, unfortunately, Viking, right now. You're the main protagonist of your life, not of the... not of the judge. Not of the judge's life. But yeah. Nicky's boss couldn't even crack top 128, I know. Oh fuck, I'm joyed. Alright, but yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit. So this is the stuff that not a lot of people explain for the game. And I think this stuff is not only it's interesting, it's also vital for people to understand what's happening on the what's happening with when you see a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And when you see a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And when you play or when you see a card for Yu-Gi-Oh! And we will discuss about it as we go as well. Yeah, like as Luke is stating, there are some trap cards that you can activate from hand. There have been quite a few of them coming out now, but normal trap cards don't do that. Usual trap cards, like the 99% of the trap cards don't do that. All right, the goals of each player. If you are the starting player, turn 1 player, you are so essentially this is what I'm talking here is what like each player tries to do in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you are the starting player, you are trying to build a board. A board meaning like no, there is the Dominus cards, like 100% a Joy player. Joy player is good. But yeah, like a board means that essentially once you play through your turn 1 and you go to the end phase, you have a significant amount of cards on your board, like monsters, set cards of like traps or spells, the field spell, and cards on your hand as well count as well. like to stop your opponent from setting up their strategy and defeat you on their turn 2. How would they do that? Usually by making your life point 0, or they destroyed your board and set up enough of a board themselves that will make you unable to recover on your turn 3. That's kind of like, that's the game of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays. Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Most turns in Yu-Gi-Oh! Finish in 3 turns. Mostly in 2 turns, because if an opponent sees that cannot crack a board, cannot finish like cracking the turn 1 player's board, they just concede. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very low turn game nowadays. Forget the, I set 2 cards and end my turn. That happens only if the opponent bricks. Bricking means that you draw a hand of cards that you cannot play, or that they cannot facilitate you a... if you can't crack your opponent 3 turns, you're so... The flow of each game can be but here's the thing. The flow of each game can be very different depending on what type of decks are classing. Because I say the majority of games are like up to turn 3. But that doesn't mean that it's always like that. What do you do if you bricked up? Well, depending on what kind of bricking you were talking about. If your hand is full of hand traps, you just try to stop your opponent and pray that you get a good card. If I want to take a shite, then I'll just take a break and go take a shite. So, there we go. Go next. Scoop, yeah, exactly. Try it, you never know. Because bricking means that you have hand traps, it's fine. Alright, but, as I said, there is many different styles. So we have deck play styles. Now, again, I'm gonna be very generalizing here. Like, look, you know a lot of different like subtypes as well. But we're going very generalizing here. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a unique game because it is a low turn count game for the most part. Because of that, the deck play styles can be very unique and quite fluid, but sometimes they mix and match each other in comparison to other trading card games. I will try and generalize them so you kind of like comprehend them a bit more easily. I just get people to date before trying to crack the... Oh boy. Don't crack their skull. Can we add the 4th style to main? Because stun is completely different to control. Yeah, I know. I've heard the theory, Luke, and I do agree, but I will, for this now, just to generalize it, I will say that, like, don't worry, I got you. And also, I don't want to say stun as a 4th style because stun should be dead. But yeah. But as I said, this is a big oversimplification. And don't worry, Luke, I got you covered. You'll see. Big oversimplification. We're gonna talk about the 3 main play styles, but sometimes there are decks that play into a combination, but depending. But there is control, combo, and mid-range. Combo. Let's start with the one that most people have nightmares with. The card that I have on the side is like... the card that I have on the side is just an example of the archetype of that playstyle. I put Evil Twins because I like Evil Twins. Evil Twins are a great combo deck. And it's a waifu, so Matthias will be happy as well. But yeah, combo decks are trying to play as many cards as possible in their turn 1, in one turn, to either make an unbeatable board going first, unbeatable being like there is so many interactions, disruptions that they can do, that pure Life Twins is mod mid-range. Look, you're right, but usually Life Twins nowadays go with Finsmith, and that tends to be more of a combo deck. Like, usually when Life Twins appear, it's usually a combo deck, because they get spliced with, like, Finsmith. I wonder if, like, what if I just played the Uno reverse? Harster, that means that you're in a completely wrong table, because there is no Uno cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even the Finsmith version is pretty mid-range. I don't know, like, look, the one that I played, which was Evil Twin Finsmith with a splash of Unchained, like, I would call it combo, because you go through a lot of cards to get to where you are, if that makes any sense. The Unchained version is just worse? I don't know, man. Like, having the doggo that can literally link someone on the opponents is not bad, honestly. Can I report to the director because the teacher is showing horny cards? That's not horny. It's just a. This is like a streamer, and I'm not kidding. It's a streamer that it moonlights as a thief. But yeah, combo decks are decks that are trying to do play as many cards as possible. It's for non-entry. All right, look, again. Basic Yu-Gi-Oh! You're getting into fucking schematic, like specifics now. Jesus. Like, but yeah, it's an unbeatable, like they try to make an unbeatable board going first, or if they're going second, they try to OTK you. They try to one turn kill you. Lack the ability for basic Yu-Gi-Oh! How? You've left it! You're playing One Piece! You went back to Primate, didn't you? You have more than three turns now. So Dimension Shifter is a combo deck? No. Doesn't mean I'm not still very good at Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh my god, the humility of that person over there. But yeah, this is where, like, unfortunately, this is where a lot of like the slop kind of decks go in. Slop is a term that we use in Yu-Gi-Oh! And not only Yu-Gi-Oh! In other card games as well, where they take a lot of different like archetypes or monsters that kind of like that can synergize with each other. Been playing it for 20 years. If I still suck, there would be issues. Yeah, that is true. That is understandable. What happened to the other twin? Oh, so this is one twin, and there is another card that is the other twin. So this is like the thief version of Lila, and this is the stream version of Kisakill, the VTuber version, and there is the Kisakill link that is the opposite. Are combo decks the easiest copy and paste decks people would use? No, I wouldn't call any Yu-Gi-Oh deck as easy. Mostly because the slop decks especially, you have to, like, Matthias, Yu-Gi-Oh is like a fighting game. In a sense, you need to learn combos. Is there a Yu-Gi-Oh card of Iron Mouse? No, I don't think so. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, you like, how do I BT in this deck? What is BT? Some combo decks are hyperlinear. And yes, those are borderline brain dead. Yeah, there are some. Like, again, there are like easy decks for each style and hard decks for each style. But you need to learn combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! And combo decks, you need to learn a lot of them. Or you need to learn long them as well. The Chibis are thieves, so they're thieving the target in the altar that is called by the grave. That's pretty neat. Oh, I didn't know that, if that's true. That's cool. But yeah. But slop deck usually are decks that you will see them a lot in Master Duel, unfortunately, because Master Duel is a best of one, so many people just go like, just win the coin toss. And slop decks are decks that like have so many like cards that they can play and synergize with each other that they can just go forever. And because of that, they get enough resources to do a lot of stuff and make like some pretty ridiculous end boards. But yeah, for example, if you think that your opponent was playing solitaire when playing against you, you probably fought against the combo deck. If your opponent's turn went for like fucking 10 minutes to 15 minutes straight, yeah, you probably played against the combo deck. But yeah, combo decks are literally just like, their deck is mostly made to do as much as possible in one turn. Like, and just go. Get as many things out of the board. Try to either like stop you from playing on your turn or kill you for like if it is turn 2. And like 10 years again, your firm might run Monster Reborn and also... Wait, that's illegal! Doesn't matter because we got shot on by... yeah, that won't help you against Killford. But yeah, non-linear combo decks are the second most skill-intensive decks in the game. What do you recommend being the first skill-intensive deck, Luke? I wonder if it is this! So... I wonder if it is this. Hello. So, control is the other. Yeah, that is true. To be honest with you, look, for Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of the times you need to know your matchup incredibly well, except if you play stun. But yeah, control, not striker, engage. Yeah, this is. Oh my god, I love Ray. But yeah, control decks. Control decks try to take control of the pace of the game. So control decks, for example, if you're fighting against a control deck, you probably will see multiple turns. They can OTK, but that's not their purpose. Their purpose is to have enough cards on their hand and on the field to limit you from playing the cards that you want, or remove resources that you put on the field when you're playing. Now you might ask, Nick, how is that different from a combo deck doing a full field? The thing is, control won't try to make as many interactions on the field as a control deck. A control deck is trying to strategically hit. Exactly. They try to strategically hit you where it counts, but where control decks gain a very big separation from combo decks is they can play through multiple turns. Combo decks, a lot of the time, play through most of their cards, and then their turn 3 is way less strong than their first turn. Control decks don't have that problem. Usually control decks will be able to gain more cards back to them, and or get some of the cards that they used back from the graveyard and start and set up the same kind of field, and you have less resources on your second turn, and they just slow down the game, trying to stop you and limit your resources for playing the game. And it's very, very dangerous. If you the thing with the control deck is control deck, combo decks or OTK decks are one punch man decks. They do the most damage the first turn they play. Control decks is death by 1,000 cuts. They will slowly take one of your resources there, stop one of your important effect activations here, and just strategically hit you slowly but steadily, getting you down, not allowing you to be able to set any sort of important field to go against them. And look, as I said, I got you, brother. Do not get them confused with stun decks, which are war criminals, and I won't talk about them in the slides out of sheer fucking hatred. Stun decks are horrible. They can die for all I care, and people who play them are criminals. Absolutely criminals. And mid-range. Now, mid-range, being the third type, is the hardest type of play to explain, because mid-range, look, I might be wrong on this, but mid-range is the middle ground of a combo deck and a control deck, in a way. Fighting game, yeah, Vanquish Soul, the fighting game archetype, is a mid-range deck. So what happens essentially, it's mid-range decks are decks that have quite a few plays. Usually they can make a decent board, not an unbreakable board, but what they do is also they gain a lot of advantage from what was control. Control, Matthias, is the deck that doesn't try to make a huge board or anything like that. It's the death by 1,000 cuts deck, type. It's a deck that will stop you from stop you in key interactions to just slow you down to a point that you cannot do anything. Yeah, mid-range is slower than combo but faster than control. Essentially, mid-range is the jack of all trades but master of none. Sometimes. You see, mid-range is a playstyle that you don't see often in Yu-Gi-Oh! in the top tiers, because if it does make it up there, it that master of none does not apply. Usually it's the master of both. So Vanquisol K9, for example, back in its full control, full power, they were an incredible like deck, because what mid-range does is like they make a decent board that they can interact with stuff, while also having the ability to like control the opponent through, again, those paper cut interactions that a pure control deck would do. A thing that like both, can I jack all the trades? VS K9 is combo, to be frank, kinda. Although I do feel that a majority of the interactions, a big part of the interactions of Vanquisol K9 still comes from the Vanquisol part, which is mid-ranging. Like, oh, Zach.com, thank you for the follow and welcome. Welcome to something completely new for me, which is making a presentation about teaching Yu-Gi-Oh to my friends here. Pure Vets, however, is a great mid-range deck. But again, I do think like the interaction of Vanquisol is like mid-range as hell. The kind of like, hey, I have like activating cards from the hand, using the board as an interaction tool, and doing like more stuff like this. It's, again, I think like VSK9 is a mid-range deck that leans more to the combo aspect of it than to the control aspect of it. The assault mode Stardust is the only control deck you need. I like that. But yeah, mid-range, by the way, is probably like the type of deck that I like personally the most. Although I always find myself like not liking a deck, not because of the type, but because of how it plays itself. But yeah, because you didn't used to see this kind of like, you didn't used to see this kind of play style often, but it's been making more frequent appearances as of late. Mostly because like decks have become like a bit more fluid in how they work in some cases, although not always. Oh god, alright. What makes a strong deck? Now, this is like, we're getting into some more technical stuff, which is, again, not explained. This is stuff that I had to find out myself as I was going like more and more and more into like it's bullshit cards. That's what does it. Well, a lot of the times true look. But the thing is, why this is going a bit more why a card is bullshit when it is, right? Is cheating answer? No, sorry Viking. Except if you're playing in the playground. No, it is not. But yeah, what makes a strong deck? So for me, there is 3 aspects that makes a deck strong. There is, number 1, consistency. How easy is for your deck to reach its main goal? Either making a strong board, breaking a board and not decaying, gaining a lot of resources, is pulling the best shiny cards. Timmy, I thought for one moment that you would say a strong deck is the one that bench presses the more weights. And I was imagining like a deck of cards doing bench presses. Do you want to make a strong? Oh fuck, yeah, alright, look, we'll get there. But yeah, Habakiri is about consistency. But yeah, consistency. How easy it is for it to reach the main goal that it wants to do? Pulling all Exodia parts, does that round 1 count? No, like Exodia can have consistency problems, but again, but mostly it's like how easy is for the deck to reach its main goal that it wants to do. Then we have resilience. How many interruptions can... Yeah, but that's luck. That's not consistency. Although luck plays a role, it is a card game after all. Then there is resilience. Resilience is like how many interruptions can the deck withstand when you play it to reach its main goal. aka going through hand traps, managing to go through an opponent's board and the interruption there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 32 more percent luck. But yeah, like resilience is very important, especially nowadays where there is a lot of like turn 0 plays for the opponent as well. You forgot a point. How attractive are the cards? Oh, Judah, don't worry. We already got Matthias's attention when I put some like evil twin cards on the stream. Also, thank you so much for joining us, Judah. How are you, friendo? Welcome. Tier 0? No, Tier 0 is the best deck. So, even though I don't have this side thing, about 50% luck, I don't know. Depending. But yeah. Tier 0, how it works, Viking, is like a deck goes into a specific tier depending on its results on a tournament. If a deck gets 50, if a specific deck gets over 50% representation on the top, let's say 64 players of the tournament, that's a tier 0 deck because it's like the majority of the tournament. 50% of the game you go first. Come on, that's a bit unfair, Luke. I know what you mean. Going first is strong. It's extremely strong, and I agree with this. But I've won enough going second games to be like, yeah, okay, it's not the end of the world. You're on a back foot, but it's not the end of the world. I've won enough of them. But yeah, how strong? And then we have the end board, as I said. The end board is like how strong the end board and the cards in hand, that counts. There are like cards that you search that you put in the hand in order to use them during the opponent's turn. So like what boss monsters do you have on the board? What traps or spells did you put on the board? How many hand traps or board breakers do you have? And board breakers are important because board breakers are like cards that like help you break a board going second. You should bring back Dad. They can make a retrain. All right. Let's talk a little bit about archetype cards. Did you open Max C or not? Oh God, don't. Let's hope that fucking card gets banned at some point. But yeah, let's talk about archetypes. So what is an archetype? An archetype is a group of cards that is meant to be played together, essentially. Like a group of cards that is meant to be played together. And they synergize very well with each other. They usually share a similar name in the card name or the card text. As you can see, I put this as an example. All these cards are the same archetype. It's the Elf Note archetype. You can tell because all of them have Elf Note on the fucking, like, in the fucking term. That's not that Lucina, Matthias. This is an elf spellcaster that is a pop idol. They sing pop. But they contains 8 sets of death board. Oh no! Please don't kill me. What did you like sprinkle those cards with Anthrax, Timmy? What happened? Elemental heroes are an archetype, a bad one, yeah. Close enough. Welcome back, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Yeah, exactly. And there are 3 kind of like card groups that exist in archetypes that help with facilitating their main goal. Starters, extenders, and boss monsters and pieces. Let's start with starters. Of course, I had to put fucking circular in here. For those who play Yu-Gi-Oh, they know exactly why I put this card for a starter. Is Danger an archetype? Yes, Danger is an archetype, Viking. You're absolutely correct. Yes, it is. But yeah, starters. Starters are cards that are great to start your plays with. Yo, that card is just like circular, but for insert any archetype. Yeah, the circular was such a good starter that literally they coined the term circular for other starters in archetypes. I shit you not. But yeah, starters are cards that are great to start your plays with. Literally, if you draw your cards and you see one of the cards that being a starter, and it's a great card to start with normal some of them. Meth Mech Wen. Oh, we need to cook. Usually they are Usually, they're searchers, meaning they will search for other cards in the deck that starts the ball rolling for your plays. And the more starters the archetype has, the more rapidly the consistency increases. So this is like, this is one of the most important parts. How many starters does your archetype have? Because that increases their consistency by a ton. Now, example here. Here is Mathmech Circular. Why is this an important boy? Let's read him together. You can send one Mathmech monster, except Mathmech Circular, from your deck to the graveyard. He's a searcher. Special summon this card from your hand. He's a starter that special summons, aka doesn't take away your normal summon, which increases also resilience, because if they stop him, well, you still have a normal summon. Also, you can only attack with one monster for the rest of the turn. Well, you know, if it's turn 1, you're not attacking anyway, so who cares? If a Mathmech monster is normal or special summon to your field where you control this monster, except for the damage step, you can add one Mathmech spell from your deck to your hand. So, this guy not only searches 2 cards, one in the grave, sent to the grave, and one come to your hand, he also special summon itself from their hand, like by sending another card from your hand. And guess what, people? The card that you send from your deck to the graveyard is a card that you can special summon from your grave immediately after, which means that the search that you get, the spell and trap search you get, is guaranteed. So, because of that, Circular is like one of the standards of starters. Like, he, as I said, he became such a good starter that now the term circular has been coined for other archetypes, essentially like saying like, oh, this card is circular for this archetype. He does what again? So Viking, just so you understand, from just activating this card, you get 2 monsters on the field, including him, and a spell or trap of the archetype itself. So from summoning him, you get to search 2 cards. And you have him on the board. That's why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a fast game. Cards do so many things nowadays. Like, this is not like, do you remember Sungun from before? Do you remember, let's go back. Let's fucking rewind time. Do you remember where this card needs to be sent from the field to the grave to add 1 monster with 1,500 attack or less from the deck to your hand? Do you remember? Now, well, not any card that you want. It needs to be a Mathmech card, but you're playing the Mathmech archetype deck. So this is almost any spell and trap. And they keep printing new ones. Yeah, power creep. But I hate math. Don't worry, you don't need to do a lot of it. Only for the synchro summoning. But yeah, starters are literally are the most, in my opinion, starters is probably the most important type of a card for an archetype. The better they are, the harder it is for the opponent to stop them, and the more you have, the more consistent your plays are. Extenders, oh boy. This is probably my favorite type of a card in an archetype myself, because if designed well, they're fucking power horses. And of course I had to put Kit Kalos. This card is banned, by the way, in the TCG, not in the OCG, and not in Master Duel. We have this card in Master Duel, but in the TCG this card is banned because this is the best extender ever printed. It will take a while to describe why, but I will describe it to you as we go. But extenders are cards that help extend your plays. They are very synergistic with the archetype and result to gaining a lot of advantage if they manage to resolve. Many times they are great search targets. So a lot of the times, like when a starter hits the board, they will be searching for an extender. And also one thing that I wanted to say is like starters, extenders, and end pieces. I give like monsters as examples, but they don't need to be monsters. They can be spell cards as well. If you want to know why, just ask. TMT. Oh no, I don't know what that means. What do you mean? But yeah. And yeah, extenders usually are 10-minute testing. No, can you imagine? I don't have like Luke can make good 10-minute testings. I am not proficient enough in Yu-Gi-Oh to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, like extenders are cards that you don't run. So for example, starters in Yu-Gi-Oh during deck building, you can have up to 3 copies of the same card, except if they're limited. If like starters, starters usually you max them out. You just go like all 3, like every time, because you want to have your opening hand to have as many as possible. But extenders, not as much. You see, extenders are really good once they manage to hit the field, but usually they require some conditions to be activated. You rarely, like, sometimes you can just like normal summon them, for example, but usually there is some setup that needs to happen before your extender sees their full potential. But I am talking about full potential. You see, Tearlament's Kid Kalos, one of the strongest extenders ever built. This will take a little bit of explaining, but Tearlaments, on full power, Tearlaments is probably the best deck, the best archetype Konami has ever printed. There are others now that they can do first turn kills and stuff like that, but in my opinion, this was like the best tier 0 deck ever made, in game feel as well. But what did he do? Essentially, Tearlaments want to send other Tearlament monsters to the grave, because by doing that they can fusion summon from using materials from the graveyard. So they would take the materials from the graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, and fusion summon like that. Yeah, I know what you mean, Luke. I saw some of the statistics you said, which is insane. So, as you understand, Tearlaments want to send cards from the deck to the grave, because the more Tearlament names they hit, Tearlament monsters they hit, and also monsters, spells, and traps. All kinds of Tearlament cards have effects that activates if they're sent to the graveyard. So they want to hit as many of them as possible by just sending stuff from the deck to the grave. So why am I saying this? Because Tearlament Kid Kalos, let's read it. If this card is special summon, as I said, it is a fusion monster, it's an extra deck monster, it's special summon when you get it from there. You can take 1 Tearlament card from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Great! You already have the option to send a Tearlament card to your hand or the grave, whatever you wish. You can target 1 monster you control, special summon 1 Tearlament monster from your hand or grave, and if you do, send the targeted monster to the graveyard. That means itself, because it says you can target 1 monster you control. That means Kid Kalos as well. And why is this important? Why do you want to send Kid Kalos to the grave? I don't know. Let's read. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Essentially, Kid Kalos is one of the best extenders ever printed for an archetype, because through a combo, Kid Kalos, if everything resolves and you do the stuff and you do your card plays correctly, Kid Kalos, together with 1 more card, can send 8 cards from the deck to the graveyard. 8 cards is almost a fourth of your fucking deck. which means advantage ahoy, because you can start activating so many effects. And essentially, if a Kitkalos resolves, then you are so far ahead from your opponent that it's very hard for them to come back into. They banned Kitkalos, obviously, after a while, because this card is insane. It's absolutely insane. But here's the thing. Sometimes extenders can also be used as starters, and the other way around. Starters can also be used as extenders. At least it has waifu. Top 5 worst tier 0 formats of all time. Teles, yes. Dad, yes. Spiral, Zoo, Tier, then Necros. That's all the tier 0 formats, right? Because I love Tier. Tier was tier 0, but I didn't hate that format as well at all. I loved playing Tier. Really? I wouldn't put then Tier in there. I love Tier. Tier was a fun deck to play. And to play in mirror mats as well. Hard as hell though. But yeah, as I said, like, oh yeah, those were the most oppressive by far. Yes, Luke, you're absolutely right. But yeah, some extenders can also be used as starters, and also the other way around. Extenders, but here's the thing, extenders might not result for the most optimal plays if you use them as starters. But they might do the job, you know, if you don't draw a starter, or if your opponent interrupted your starter, they can help, essentially. And on the other hand, if an archetype has ways to special summon a starter can act as an extender as well, like, because if you already did some plays and you can special summon a starter that you haven't used yet, that counts as an extender. It extends your plays. You already started. But yeah, Sprite was tier 0 for a month. Man, I wish I played during that format because I love Sprite. But yeah, that's why I have Poplar here. Poplar is normally an extender. Because how is it an extender? If this card is added to your hand, except for by drawing it, you can special summon this card. So essentially, you usually search this card with your starter, and then this guy goes, oh, you added me to your hand? Bonk, goes onto the field. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one Snake Eye spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. So, extending plays because he searches for a spell and trap. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one fire monster from the in your grave, put it face up in the owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. This is more of a place for Snake Eyes, but it's also an extension. But yeah, crazy how Konami released Tier and thought it would be fine. Man, I think they just had fun playing that deck and they were like, yeah, fuck it, go. We don't care. It's gonna be tier 0. We don't care. It's a fun deck to play. I think this was like more of a thing of the card designers were just having way too much fun. All right, and now last piece. Endboard pieces and boss monsters. I have two cards here because this is an endboard piece and this is a boss monster. Did I skip over garnets when taking a piece? I'm not talking about garnets, Nicola. I like it, but you don't need to run that many garnets nowadays, depending on the archetype. But yeah, endboard pieces and boss monsters are cards that you want them to be part of the endboard when you finish your turn. They are very, very powerful cards that if your opponent doesn't have an answer for them when they start their turn, you probably win the game. Although usually these cards are in archetype, some of them can be from other archetypes or be generic cards like Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment, for those who don't know, let me find. Let me get. There we go. Let me just put it on to read it together. There it is. So, Solemn Judgment. Like, this is an endboard piece. This is a counter trap that says, pay half your life points, negate the activation of a spell or trap, normal summon, flip summon, special summon, and destroy them. Now, essentially, God said no is a phrase that has been coined for this card because one thing with this card, first of all, counter trap. Once you activate it, that's it. Like, nothing else is happening except if the opponent has another counter trap that can activate for this. Number two, this is something which is very important. If your opponent normal summons, flip summons, special summons, and you activate this card, the game considers the normal summon that it didn't even exist. Not only you wasted your summon, the game goes like, nope, never existed, goodbye. Like literally like Thanos out of thin air. But yeah, this card is an end board piece. It is an end board piece. You put it down once you finish your turn one, and then it's another like very, very powerful disruption for your opponent to go through. But it's not an archetype. Well, there is the Solemn archetype, but it's not an archetype. It's a series of generic cards that you use. Half of your life points sounds like a lot. Back in the day it was, Matthias, but nowadays when it's like a turn, like a 2 to 3 turn game, your life points, one thing that I will quote from any card game, your life points are just another resource. As long as they don't reach 0, you're fine. And this is an extremely powerful effect. This is one of the most disruptive effects on a card, like bar none. Because again, this negates anything, negates and destroys anything. The opponent did something that you just went like, nah, I don't like this, punk. Literally, God just comes down, points the finger on the card that the opponent activated, and just like vanishes out of reality. But yeah, like that's why like these kind of cards are that. As an example, I'm giving this because. Oh yeah, you're right, Luke. Thank you. You're right. Solemn is not an archetype because nothing mentions them in the card text. You're right, Luke. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's an end board piece that is not in archetype. It's a generic one. Just as an example. But usually they are archetype within the archetype. And I have 2 examples here. One is a boss monster, Castira Riceheart, one of the most hated boss monsters that ever made. And Doomsday Destruction, one of the most hated trap cards made recently. This is quite recent, it's still being played. Literally, Doomsday is an archetype that is seeing a lot of success because of this card. You will know why soon. Castira Riceheart, let's start with this bad boy. What does he do? It does 3 things. Once per turn, you can also use it. Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. If an effect of no. Wait a moment. Yeah, there we go. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So this guy shuts down graveyards. And I build a house. Do I turn myself into an archetype? No, unfortunately. No, you're not an archetype. If you build a church or a bridge, where they have arches, then maybe. But yeah, like, so this guy shuts down graveyards because every card gets banished instead. It's macrocosmos on legs, as we like to call it, and it's a very hated effect. Because in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays, as you saw, a lot of the cards that we read go like, if it's sent to the graveyard, it does this. Like, graveyard has become like your second hand in Yu-Gi-Oh. So having a boss monster that says like, our graveyard, we don't need that graveyard. And you will say, doesn't that hurt Castira? No, because Castira is a deck that works with banishing cards. So they don't fucking care. But you think that's bad? No. Let's read a little bit more. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach 3 materials from this card. This is an XYZ card, so you have materials under it. Target 1 card on the field, banish it face down. Oh, banishing face down is different than banishing face up. Banishing face down makes the card like not exist, essentially. It's insane. And then you go like, 3 materials. Nick, that sounds like a hefty cost. Well, don't you worry. Once per chain, each time a card is banished, attach 1 banished card to the card as material. Per chain, not per turn. So every time you or the opponent do something and send a card to the banishment, because the graveyard doesn't exist anymore. Oh, no, it's mine. Oh. Thank you for the card. Nom 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 nom. Tasty card. Extremely powerful card. This is like this card on its own, if the opponent doesn't have something to deal with it, wins games. But sometimes it doesn't need to be a boss monster. Also, by the way, I forgot to say 3k, 3k, 3000 attack, 3000 defense, which are extremely high stats as well. And then let's look at an end piece. Doomsday Destruction, trap card. When you activate it, target 1 Doomsday XYZ monster you control. Equip this card to it with the following effects. Cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. AKA, do you remember when I was saying like usually starters like starter cards and extenders like search other cards for you to continue your plays and everything like that? Yeah, no, you can't do that anymore. Tough. Good luck. Hopefully you draw enough cards on your hand in order to do something with them. Annoying card. Annoying card. They literally took a hand trap called Drawn and Lock and make it into a searchable fucking trap card for that archetype. If this card is destroyed by card effect, I haven't read that one. You can target 1 face-up monster on the field, equip 1 Doomsday monster from your deck. Ah, okay, yeah, that's for later. But yeah, annoying. So essentially, like, usually endport pieces or boss monsters have like some extremely powerful effects that can literally just stop people like from playing overall or facilitating some of the more strong stuff. Other times it's a 1 interaction thing, like final, like Solemn Judgment, that stops 1 action, but it, again, in Yu-Gi-Oh, stopping 1 action can be enough to just like completely like stop them from playing. It's technically a smidge worse, you're right, Luke, but this is searchable. You know, draw. In most decks, when they put them in, they don't search them. They just hope they draw them. That can be searched. All right. So, but you might ask, how do I stop someone from making a board? Like, are you going second because you missed the coin toss? Tough luck, buddy. You are going second in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the most disadvantageous starting positions in almost any card game. This is the reality with this game. You have to like accept this fact. If you go second in Yu-Gi-Oh! The probability of you losing goes way up. It's not a death sentence. I will say this. I have had like times, like I have had times that I've won the majority of going second games, but it's hard because we've gone a long time without a question. Oh, don't worry, Jade. Don't worry. But yeah, it's hard. But with the speed of the game increasing, the card designers have been trying to create cards to help with going second. And there are 2 universal types. Oh, don't worry, Luke. I agree. Glares at Tenpai, yeah. Don't worry. I won against Tenpai on the previous stream, and I was so happy when I did. There are 2 universal types of disruption cards that for going second. Hand traps and board breakers. Hand traps. Hand traps. This is the most common disruption type of card. Since it can be good going first or second, because many hand traps you can use going second as well. Oh no. Ass, feet, or forehead. Yeah, there we go. The new Magic Force Trap is such a crazy breaker. Yeah, I'm gonna read it on stream together with you all because I read that card once and I was like, oh my god, what is going on? But let's get to the board breaker segment first. But yeah, hand traps. Hand traps are like the most powerful, like not the most powerful, but are the most common disruption type of cards. Because again, unlike board breakers, they can go first. They are good on going first and second. They can be activated from your hand. That's why that's the name hand trap. And used at the right moment, they can impede the opponent's plays to the point that they cannot make a good board. That's the point of them, or one at all. That's the point of these cards. Unfortunately, the game has reached a point where one hand trap is not enough the majority of the time, except if you are using war criminals like Maxi, Troll and Lockbird, or Dimension Shifter. I'm looking at you three with very scary eyes. I hate those three. But hand traps, sometimes one hand trap can be enough depending on the consistency or what kind of a deck the opponent plays or what kind of a hand they draw. Because if they only draw one starter and you ask that starter, yeah, that's it. You stop them from playing and then they just set some cards and pray. So, our Burb is a war criminal depending on the game, depending on the card. But yeah, let's read Ash Blossom. This is the most played hand trap of all time. When a card or effect is activated and includes any of these effects, quick effect, so spell speed 2, you can discard this card, negate that effect. What are the effects? Add a card from the deck to hand, so search a card, nope. Special summon from the deck, nope. Or send a card from deck to grave. Have you seen the new Gores? Yes! Yes, I have! I'm so happy, Luke. I'll definitely get a copy of that card when it's out. But yeah, this is again, since a lot of the starters and extenders search cards or special summon cards from the deck, Ash Blossom usually stops them, and that's why Ash Blossom has become such a big card. The only reason it's mostly played is because of Maxi's ban. I agree, Judai in Master Duel, yet even though it's still being played in most of the decks in TCG, and Maxi has been banned in TCG for a while, and even before Molcharmies were a thing. It's just Ash Blossom, again, searching cards or special summoning cards from the deck is such a common thing for a lot of archetypes that Ash Blossom is a safe bet. Not always. There have been metas where Ash Blossom in the TCG hasn't seen as much play, but the majority of metas Ash Blossom sees plays. And even if it is not in the main deck, they will be in the side deck, believe you me. Even then, the road sees more play, yeah. Board breakers. Alright. These are cards that have an extremely powerful effect when activated, but they get the benefits when the opponents have card on the field. For boomers like me, a board breaker is also like Raigeki. Raigeki, which destroys all opponents' monsters. That's a board breaker. That's a very powerful effect on a card. Dark Hole as well. Yep, that's a board breaker. Board breakers are usually do massive disruptions. They will affect multiple cards. Or Torrential Tribute, yeah. Massive disruptions. Although Torrential Tribute is not as much of a board breaker because it's a trap card. You need to set it. Board breakers you want to activate them turn 2 on your first turn as turn 2. These are cards, but they have extreme, they interact with a lot of cards. So usually board breakers are cards that will go positive for you because Raigeki, right? If the opponent has 5 monsters on the field and you Raigeki them, you went +4 because you used one card to destroy 5 of those, which is really strong. They are good going second, but some of them can be useful going first if you set them on the field the previous turn. Remember when we talked about quick play spells? A lot of board breakers are quick play spells. My favorite card, Forbidden Droplet. This is my favorite generic card. I think this is one of the best designed card in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fair, that's why it doesn't see play as much anymore, unfortunately. And it has so many intricacies in interactions that is so good. If you guys enjoyed this and you want me to make a part 2, this card will see you will see this card a lot in another presentation if I ever made one, because this card like teaches you so much about the intricacies of interactions in Yu-Gi-Oh! But let's read it together, right? Send any number of other cards from your hand or field to the graveyard. Choose that many effect monsters your opponent controls, and until the end of this turn, their attacks have also their effects are negated. In response to this card's activation, your opponent cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same original type, monster, trap, or spell, as the card sent to the graveyard to activate this card. Essentially, to understand, is that, for example, your opponent has three effect monsters on the field. You activate Forbidden Droplet and you send from your field or your hand a monster, a trap, and a spell. Your opponent cannot activate any card to the activation of this card, which makes it which means that they have to take the hit. Love this card. It's such a well-designed card, and I do try to play it whenever I can. But yeah, board breakers, as I said, Darkhold, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm. These are cards that were designed to go second, to help people going second, because again, going second is a very disadvantageous state in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, before I go on though, is like, they are trying to make them more and more powerful though, because again, decks are getting stronger, going first is getting stronger because of that, so they need to find counterbalance. How was the card called, the new one they announced? Sorry, I'm searching the chat. He said the name. Is it Mind Crush? No. What was it again? God, I can't find it in the chat. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it like, no, it's not. Mind Force. Thank you. There we go. Mind Force. Oh yeah, because it's like Mirror Force, right? So, or Mind Mirror Force. That would be a good name for it. So, let me find a translated copy of that card. Oh, there we go. This is such a bad fucking... Man. There we go. Found it. There we are. Okay. Here we go. Now, just to kind of like understand... thank you so much, Luke. I think I found the same copy. Or close to it. Yeah. So, this is not out yet. This is gonna come out in Japan in like August. And then we'll probably get it 6 months later. But yeah, this is the newest board breaker that they want to introduce. Let's read it together to understand how powerful this is. Mind Mirror Force, normal trap. If your opponent controls 5 or more face-up cards, this card's activation and effect cannot be negated. Also, it can be activated the turn it was set. Again, cannot, like, if the opponent controls 5 more face-up cards. And again, face-up cards, not monsters, cards. That counts field spells, that counts continuous spells, any of this. So, at any of the following timings, negate the effects of as many face-up cards your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, destroy them. Your monsters cannot attack directly until the end of the next turn after this card resolves. But again, at any of these timings, we will read them, negate the effects of as many face-up cards your opponent controls as possible, so your whole board, the whole board gets negated and then destroyed. So let's see the timings. When an opponent monster with the highest attack declares an attack, when your opponent activates a monster effect that would destroy a card on the field, that happens a lot. When your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or field during your turn. So, is your opponent going to activate any of their cards on the board? A monster or on the hand that they set up? Destroy, negate and destroy the whole board. Activate an effect that destroys a card, including this one. Remember, because they can set this down and then activate it. So if you set it and the opponent goes I can destroy it before they activate it. Fucking psych! No, you're not. You try to destroy the card? You fool! Destroy. Negate and destroy. This is insane. Again, because you need to remember, it negates the whole board as well. So it's not and if the opponent has 5 or more face-up cards on the field, that means that they have this cannot be negated either. Now many people, I'm pretty sure, as you saw from Nicola, bro, this is a very good card. And I agree. The reason why cards like this are printed is because they know that going second is hard, so they need to find ways to stop people from overextending, from going way too far into trying to making a completely unbreakable board, keeping things fair essentially. Because if the opponent makes an unbreakable board and you have this card in hand, oh boy. But yeah, Triple Tactics Talents will Triple Tactics Trust will definitely see more play when this comes out. I agree. Konami print this, then release another FTK archetype? I hope not, but we'll have to see. But yeah, this is how strong they're planning on making board breakers in the future. Just as an example. So, alright. Now, a couple last things that we should talk about. Engine versus non-engine. Engine cards are usually within the archetype that your deck includes. Engine cards are essentially, when we say engine in Yu-Gi-Oh, means cards that work with your, that are continue the plays that your archetype would do. Non-engine cards are cards that can be included in any deck, since they don't need any archetype cards to work. So, hand traps and board breakers are usually non-engine cards. And engine cards are usually Mathmech Circular, Snake Eyes Poplar, all these cards that are specific to the archetype. No, look, I don't think it will see main deck play, but oh boy will it see, it will be the most sided card ever. I will be honest. Going second, yep, absolutely. But yeah, usually the thing is engine and non-engine is important to specify, because if an archetype can run a lot of non-engine cards, is usually considered good, because it means that it has a lot of opportunities to play or stop the opponent during their turn if they lose the coin toss. So there is always an argument about how much engine you run, how much non-engine you run. Now, that doesn't mean that a deck that is mostly engine is bad. Branded is one of the best decks for a while now. And that is literally 80% engine. So, like, not 80%, 70% engine. And it still does well. That's mostly. But another type of card, and this is something that I wanted to say because, first of all, I know the team is here. And I know, oops, all engine, it works. Sometimes it does work. All engine can work if they can play forever. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the most powerful effect in Yu-Gi-Oh! What's the most powerful effect in Yu-Gi-Oh? Drawing cards! Why is drawing cards and searching cards the most powerful effect in Yu-Gi-Oh? Because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have a resource system like other card games, like Magic the Gathering has land and mana, like Runeterra or Lorcana or fucking Hearthstone has energy. And all this is made because they want you to limit the amount of actions a player can do per turn. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have that. You have a spell card. Is there any conditions for it? Is there any restrictions? You cannot activate it? No, fucking you can activate it right here and now. You can special summon monsters forever. One Piece has Dawn. There we go. Thank you, Luke. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have that. Yu-Gi-Oh is a game that it goes like, if you can play it, play it. Like, go for it. We're not stopping you. Which means that the one of the most restrictive parts of the game is how many cards do you have on your hand. So drawing cards immediately became one of the most powerful effect in Yu-Gi-Oh. That's why a lot of cards that used to draw cards that draw cards are banned. Pot of Greed, banned. Graceful Charity, banned. Usually now you will get like two types of draw effect cards. One, is that pot also banned? I think this pot, Pot of Prosperity, I think is banned now. I don't remember. Is it limited? Let me see. Pot of Prosperity has gone in and out. I'm gonna check right now. Why are you not showing me? It's limit. Okay, so in the TCG, the card is limited. In Master Duel is banned. But yeah, in the TCG is limited, and there is a good reason. But yeah, so. The reason why I talked about non-engines and engines is like is because draw cards like this that are non-engine that they can go in any deck usually have some hefty restrictions. Oh, Nicola, there is a good reason why, and we will explain it in just a bit. But there are archetype cards that usually don't have these kind of restrictions. Do you remember the control deck Sky Striker that I was talking about before? Let's read their most powerful card, which is Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. If you control no monster in your main monster zone, you can activate this card. Will we go over Floodgates? No, not today. Although technically we already did a bit, Judai, with the end bosses and end pieces. Although I didn't use the terminology Floodgate, but technically we did. Go away, Satan. Yeah, but yeah. Sky Striker Mobilize Engage says that if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, add one Sky Striker card from your deck to your hand, except for itself. Then, if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, draw one card. So not only you search a card, you also draw a card. Insanely strong, and that's why it's in a deck where it cannot use a lot of monsters usually. Oh my god, I love Rose. I like that. But none. So usually in-engine draw cards don't get too many restrictions. They still get some, but not as many. Non-engine ones, though, get strong restrictions. Let's read this card to understand why. So, first of all, banish 3 or 6 cards of your choice from your extra deck face down. AKA, you're never gonna see these cards for the rest of the game. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, any damage your opponent takes, it's halved. Again, insane. What happens? Excavate cards from your top of the graveyard, from your top of your deck, equal to the number of cards banished. So excavating means like checking the top of the deck. Add one of them, and then excavate the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only activate one Pot of Prosperity per turn. You cannot draw cards by the card effects the turn you activate this card. So, let's count together how many restrictions does this card have for its effect. So, banish 3 or 6, 1 restriction. No damage taken is halved, 2 restrictions. And you cannot draw cards by card effects for the rest of your turn, 3 restrictions. This card has 3 restrictions in order to do its effect. But there is a reason. This is the... this card increases your consistency by a ton. Why? Because this is not drawing. This is, you look at 6 cards in your deck and choose one of them to put in your hand. So essentially, it gives you pseudo access to for your hand to be 11 cards. It's not, because you only take one of them, but essentially once you use this card, you have looked at 11 cards in your deck. Your deck is 40 cards, and that's why it's more points in Genesis than Pot of Greed, Nicola, because Pot of Greed throws you 2 cards, but it's random. This one targets specifically, and it looks 6 cards in deep in your deck, which is extremely strong. So yeah, that's why in Yu-Gi-Oh, drawing cards or search cards that are non-engine takes have insane restrictions on them. All right, question time, bitches. And now this is a question time that we'll see if you guys remember the things that I've talked in this presentation. I have a simple question for you guys. Very simple. How many phases exist in the first turn of the game? If you thought that this would be from the recent information, well, you're wrong. And yeah, I mean, I already see the answer. Yep, Nicola and Judai, you're both correct. It's 4, since there is no battle phase or main phase 2 in turn 1, as we talked. And yeah, this is the end for now, unfortunately. This is I want to make more slides and give more examples as to why I like playing this game. And I almost said 3, but remember, and phases, I think, yeah. And why is literally the most unique. I was gonna say 6, though there is no end battle phase or main phase 2, Matthias, in turn 1. That's why I asked turn 1. But yeah, unfortunately, I only had a couple of hours to make this presentation. Literally, I spent all of my free time yesterday and half an hour before the stream today to make this. But if you guys enjoyed this presentation, I would love to make a sequel where I talk more about the intricacies of Yu-Gi-Oh! Card interactions, which is some of the most fun and thought-provoking parts of the game, and what makes this game my favorite game to play when it comes to the card games. Yeah, so I love that turn 1 still has a draw phase. I agree, Luke. I agree. I get it, but yeah, it's funny. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And after this break that I'm gonna do to get some water and use the toilet and stuff like that, we're opening some packs, baby. And you guys did well. Not only you paid, you used channel points in order to get the card, like to card packs. Most kissable Yu-Gi-Oh card. Kissable. I mean, they're all paper. I mean, probably Pot of Greed. It has the juiciest of lips. But yeah. Kisses for the chat. But yeah, like after this break, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna open some packs, and we're having a lot of packs today. So this is gonna take the rest of the stream, because not only you guys paid for 6 packs to open, you also answered all the questions correctly, which means you're getting an additional 6 packs. So we're gonna be opening like 12 packs today. So rub your hands and get ready. There's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of cardboard. So with that said, I'll be... One moment. Let me turn this off. Where the fuck did I put the console stuff there? But yeah, I'll be back with packs to open. So I hope you will enjoy. Oh, Soupy, more kisses for you. But yeah, be right back. And also, as I am going, let me know in the chat, because I will read it when I come back. Was this good? Was this educational at all, or was it like too confusing? Sorry for that. I got some snack. I got one of the most traditional healthy Greek desserts. Close this. Put this here. Put this here. There we go. I got a traditional Greek dessert. Yogurt, honey, and walnuts. I like the concept of it. Because it's true that you play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! It makes sense at least to explain a bit to the viewers who don't understand everything. Although, I think it was a bit too complex and not super easy to understand. That, thank you for telling me. I will try to fix that. Yeah, as I said, Matthias, my apologies. I wanted to make more slides, but I only had like literally 2 hours to make it. So, like, next time, when I will try to plan this in at least a week in advance or something, so I can spend more time to actually do that. Thank you for letting me know, though. Yeah, no, Luke is probably the most knowledgeable person. Like, yeah. Just like I was thinking about when I was making it, kind of like what information did I learn playing it by myself slowly that I would have appreciated in the beginning. Like an engine and non-engine, starters, extenders, endboard pieces, you know, categorizing some of the cards like this. These are stuff that nobody tells. Like, very rarely you see. And obviously it's annoying because of it. Guys did it. We have a lot of fucking packs. Yes, it is still Blazing Dominion. And there is 12 of them. So let's see how it will go. Let me eat a little bit more of my dessert that I'm looking. And also, I saw Soupy. How are you, Soupy? How have you been, friendo? Good to see you again. I did three questions by you. If I ever make another presentation, would you guys want another presentation like that? Sorry, one moment. I just got an email that I need to respond from work. Have? If you want to learn to play Yu-Gi-Oh, go play Vanguard. Oh god. What is a Duel? You should do this about the fighting game, but prepare it a bit more in advance. I will do that. You know what? Timmy, after we play like Marvel Tokon for a month, it would be nice to make a presentation of like what I've learned from spending a month on it. Ah, Duel Runner, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. What, you mean the new Feast of the No Star fighting game, Timmy? Hmm. Hmm. I agree with Luke. Radiant Typhoon is a very good deck. He's a, like, and quite simple as well. Once you understand, once you have activated each card once and you understand its main combo, it's actually quite good, quite simple as well. Hmm. I wouldn't mind making one for Monster Hunter Viking, especially for the general flow of play. That is impressive, Luke. But yeah, thank you for the feedback as well, everyone. And I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep in mind. I'll keep in mind. At the very least, a presentation for fighting games and a presentation for like Monster Hunter as well. And Monster Hunter, I have like over a decade of experience, so I can at least know what to write. Because Yu-Gi-Oh, I have 4 years of experience with Master Duel. But yeah, so everybody, let's start opening some packs. Last time we got some incredible cards, so I don't think we'll meet that standard, unfortunately. But it should still have a lot, so let's see. Alright, so the first pack. There we are. The first pack is... we'll do the question packs last. But the first pack is Jades. Can I make my... Oh god, Matthias, I don't think we have enough hours in a day for you to do that. Make the One Piece and make Nick present it with zero dollars of the game. You know what? Fine. That would be a very funny thing. Look, honestly. But you must not once I start doing the presentation, you cannot interact in the chat with me. Like, you can interact with the people in the chat, but I'm not looking. I'll just be making stuff up, depending on what I'm looking. Right, so let's see the cards that we have. So Jade's pack, King's Resonance. Oh, look, it's we're starting with a Nicola card. During the turn in which your opponent has special summoned 10 or more monsters, neither players can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. 10 is a lot. It happens, combo decks do that, but 10 is a lot. Apply the following effects in sequence based on the number of monsters your opponent special summoned this turn. 1+, special summon one dark synchro monster from the graveyard or banishment. Alright. 3+, every red dragon archfiend in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects until the end of your turn. 5+, change all opponent's monsters to face down defense position. I get it. That's alright. It's a gimme card. It's a gimme card, but it's alright. I like it. The turning everything face down defense position is really good for Archfiend. Alright, next. Fleeting Phantom Mask Master. That's such a weird, trippy artwork. Look at this thing. Camera, can you focus on this fucking thing? This is like a fucking weird case, like Karakuri actor Oni guy with masks. What to say? I spent last week watching the finale. A friend of mine who really likes the show, he was a bit like, he enjoyed the last episode, they went to the cinema to see it, but he told me that the end was a bit meh. All stock is tossed away for players. Good. Good. That's how it should be, especially for this kind of stuff. Fuck scalpers. Let's see, read. Oh, it's an illusion card. If this, yeah, blah, blah, blah. If this card is a normal special summon, you can send one fiend, illusion, or spellcaster monster from the deck to the graveyard. Oh god, this can technically start Fiendsmith combos. You can make this card's type become the original type of the send. This can, yeah, okay. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one spell from your graveyard. Special summon this card. Oh. You can only use this effect once per duel, and its previous effect only once per turn. Okay. That's okay. It's an extender. Again, it's an extender because it can summon itself from the graveyard once per duel by banishing a spell, and then it like sends in a specific type of monster from the graveyard, from the deck to the graveyard. This is like a stereotypical extender, essentially. Then we have, Irisfill. We already like draw this card in a previous pack. It's a weird battle, like a thick angel. Sorry, there's people who don't like what they did, but I think it's media literacy thing. Yeah, no, absolutely. As I said, my friend didn't thought the ending was meh, but he did enjoy the show overall, so that's fine. Oh, okay, we draw another one that we have. Jupredo, the Said Machine Power Patron, this guy. This is a Doom Z card as well. The archetype that we talked about, not allowing people to search cards except for drawing them. That was there. Yeah, you know what? Let's do another like different kind of playlist. Oh yeah, this one. There we go. Oh, all right. Then. Clown cards are funny. Alright, the shiny card for this pack is Preda Primitive. It's super rare. Nice shininess on the super rare as well. It's a Predaplan card. Send one Predap card from the deck to the grave, except Primitive. Oh my god, the shininess is all over the card. It's not only in the artwork though. That's cool. Wasn't expecting this. After this card resolves, okay, sorry, except Primitive, add one polymerization spell or fusion spell from the deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special fusion for the rest of the monster after this card is except for plant or dragon monsters here, the archetype of Predaplants. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field except the damage step, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target one fusion monster you control. Then target one fusion monster you control, destroy it. Wait, what? Why would you want to destroy your fusion monster? Probably trigger something, but I don't know what. Alright. Now cards are fucking the best way to play them is stun. Yeah, I agree. I like the archetype, but them playing it in stun is... Ugh. I love you. Dude, I knew you would like it as well, so that's why I did it. And also, when I found this, like, remix, I was like, this sounds sick. We should put it on stream at some point. Now it's a good time. Tales of the Fairy Tales. There we go. It's a returning sorcery furry archetype. The equipped monster gets 1000 attack. Once per turn. Why do they have an equip spell? Once per turn, during your main phase, you can fusion summon one spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand, field, or Prince of Flame, or Prince of Flames your opponent controls as material. I'm guessing that's a token. If this card is in your graveyard, you can equip this card to one Fairy Tail monster in the field, then immediately after this effect is over, you can normal summon a spellcaster. Additionally, interesting. Okay, so it's an extended. It's a weird extended. Very weird extended. Do Fairy Tail have fusions? Yeah, they still do. Oh, Hero Flash. We already got a copy of that card before. It's a hero card, so burn it. Heka Hand's Bait. We already saw. We saw this. We drew this beforehand, and we saw this when we played against them. So we know about this. Oh, and another Adrastea. Again, another Doom Z card. But yeah, that was Jade's pack. We have a lot of them, so get ready. Oh, you didn't have to do it for me. I like that. No, all of this is a remix. Everything that we hear, like Judah, is a remix of X5 songs. I just don't like. I don't know. I'm just like. I think Hero is that kind of a deck because of how old it is and how the support of it works. Where they take a million hours to take their turn. And some bad printing here on one of the cards. Some bad cutting. These two, yeah, apparently. Let me see. This says monkey. I don't know what it is. It just says monkey, Jude. I'm so sorry. Alright, what do we have? Oh, wait, before I continue. Who got this? Timmy! This is Timmy's pack. Okay. And the problem with the hero stuff is like the recent boss monsters are just toxic. That's the problem. Like Darklaw, the old one, Cosmic Hero now, where it was like, oh, you just can't activate anything. It's like, I don't know, I don't like it. Oh, okay, we got Spiritual Art Familiars. This is like a card that we got in the previous card opening. Then we have... Oh, another one that we got before, the Exploding Cage Clown. The Clown Cruiser. Open up my pockets, Nick. I am. Oh, God. All right. No, this is not important. Again, this is not a big important card by any means, but this is a favorite of mine. Art Maids Impasto Recapture. Second copy of this that we got. You only need one. But this, again, this is an end piece for Art Maids. It's like... because if you control an Art Mage monster, you can activate this card during the turn it was set. When your opponent activates a monster effect, punish one fusion monster you control until the end phase. And if you do, negate the activation and destroy that. And it's important because not only it's an NPC that you can search, not only you can activate it when you the same turn you set it, it's also a counter trap, which means a spell speed like 3, aka they cannot react to it. Alright. Oh, we got another Clown Crew Diablo. We got the Fusion Clown Doggo. There we go. We had a copy of this already. Checker! I've never seen this card. Look at this thing. It's so weird. It's an Earth Machine. I don't even understand exactly what it's doing. Yeah, it's checking stuff. It's a bot that checks stuff. Cannot be normal summoned. It's a level 4 monster with 2000 attack. Cannot be normal summoned if you control a monster. Okay. You can tribute this card. Special summon one machine monster from your deck whose attack is equal to its own defense. But return it to the hand at the end phase. Why? You can banish this card from your graveyard and discard one card. Special summon one Iron Rubble token. Level 100 token. but it cannot be used as material for a future synchro or link summon. Why? What is this? Why would you make this? I spelled checker wrong. What a bunch of it. I think they did that on purpose. Oh god. I love that the badly cut card is the VIP well. Timmy, the previous pack had a VIP well for you as well. But this one is cut wrong. Look. Has like these ridges here. Got another VIP well. Oh. With bad ridges. Yay. Another Tales of the Fairy Tales. Oh, and another GMX Suppression Squad. It's the Dino Crisis people. And your shiny card, Timmy, is... Oh, it's a train card! Oh, we got your train card. We got Heavy Armored Knight Bubble Decker. It's a train with a knight on top, with a sword and shield, by the way. Because knights are cool, because trains are cool like that. That was a Pokemon card. It's crimply with that value, yeah. You can normal summon this card without tributing. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one Earth Machine monster from your hand. During your main phase, if your opponent activates the card effect this turn, you can special summon one rank 1. Wait, what? Oh! Okay, the first effect is mid, the second effect is good. During your main phase, if your opponent activated the card or effect this turn, you can special summon one rank 10 Earth Machine XYZ monster from your extra deck using this card you control as material. That's actually quite good. Holy crap. That's a great extender. Literally, you just plop him down and it's just like, yeah, activate an effect and see what happens. You opened any 16? No, look, unfortunately, the expensive cards have already been drawn. This box have already made its money from the first 6 packs, just so you know. We've already made like about 60 to 70 pounds. We got a Starlight Rare, Alt-Right Red Nova Dragon, and a Dominus Spark as well. Alright, next we have Viking! Alright, there we go. Oh, sorry, look. Say that again. I don't know what of all. The old art is €30 cheapest, yeah. Alright, Viking, your stuff. The first card we're getting is Assault Sonic Warrior. You're gonna assault me, Sonic, with probably metal on a boombox. If you control Junk Warrior, Assault Mode activate, or a card that mentions either of those cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one Synchro Monster or one Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro Material, you can make all monsters you control 500 for the rest of the turn. Okay, that's alright. It's a mid extender. It was Sonic's birthday, so that's fitting. Yeah, I know, right? What the fuck? Alright, we have Wake Up! Kuro. I don't even know what this is. This is the first time I ever see this card. Fuck, all I really want from the set other than symbols of both. Is it my pack? Yes, it is, Viking. So what is this? Aqua. Oh, it's a flip monster. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-star flip monster. You've never seen play, are you? Flip. You can target one other face-up monster in the field, change it to face-down defense position. Amazing. You can reveal this card in your hand, add one winged flip monster from your deck to your hand, except Wake Up, Kuro. then discard one card. Quick effect. You can target one face down defense position monster on the field, change its face up defense position. Weird. Weird. This sounds like they want to make a wind flip monster archetype, and this is there. Up, we got another Hega Hands. No. They mean cup, actually, Timmy. They do mean cup because he's holding a plate of a cup. Look. I think Wake Up is an archetype. This is the first Wake Up card we've seen. Okay, we got another Hega Hands Dandalos. Again, this is the fusion monster from Hega Hands that steals a monster from the field. We got another Mimigul Flower. Again, this is the face down archetype. Oh. Oh my goodness, Viking! They know you. We got Gaming Gamer GG! I didn't know this is a card. Ew! But you are a gamer. How did you not know? I didn't know this is a thing. Gaming Gamer GG! It's a weird robot kind of thing. He would easily be designed by Intit Creates. It's a rank 4 Machine XYZ monster. 2 level 4 Machine Oh, you require Machine monsters. Fuck off. If this card is special summon, you can change all monster your opponent controls to attack position. If your opponent has a monster in the field or graveyard, you can detach one material from this card, send one Machine monster from the deck or extra deck to the grave, then you can apply this effect. Choose one Machine XYZ monster in your graveyard, and this card names become that monster's name. Interesting. Some Earth Machine lads will probably know what to do with this, but I don't. I don't play. Real gamer, man, he's gaming, he's gamer, and he's GG. We can't do anything like, what else do you need? Oh, we got another Junk Signal. Junk is, by the way, the main archetype of the protagonist of 5Ds, of the 5Ds Nuts Yu-Gi-Oh series. Yusei. Wait, what the fuck? Guys, we got a normal monster. What the hell? Look. It's a big-ass dragon. Draluvice, the Diabolic Dragon Fortress. And its flavor text, I will read the flavor text, but before that, it's a level 7 tuner normal monster. Oh, this guy's a tuner! Huh. Alright. Chunky out dragon. This is a normal monster, so the text is literally flavor text. So, the ultimate fate of the huntress who continue to spread the dragon taint. Oh, now she has become the source of the plague, a fortress of swirling dark, wicked thoughts, and ironically is now the target of others' revenge. She has no way of knowing that the strike team standing before her are the survivors of a village that was once decimated by a dragon. Alright. That pretty gloomy. Oh! Oh, okay, we got the zombie waifu again. Officiating reverie. There you go. Are we saying look how to like make the camera look at? Alright, I hope Matthias took a pic. And your shiny card is Anti-GMX Final Experiment. Look, it's a dino card. Mr. QT, sorry, no worries. Nick, is there also a version with the X6? I haven't found one yet, Judai. If I find it, I'll let you know. But literally this popped up last week, this one. So I don't know if they've made the one for X6 yet. Alright, so Anti-GMX Final Experiment. This is the Dino card. Activate only if you control a GMX monster. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, except during the damage step, You can excavate the top 5 cards of the deck, and if you excavate the GMX card, negate the activate effect. That's not bad, because this is a... So, that's not bad, because this is a continuous spell. This means that you can activate this effect once every turn. That's not bad. Nice. It's a nice artwork as well. Alright, so we've only got like super rares as of now, which are the most common ones, but that's fine. Alright, Zeno has 2 packs. This is his first one. Right? Yeah, I'm right. Oh, we got this guy again. We got the Dia Broken, the Ominous Scepter. I don't know what he does. Oh, we got... Alright, now it's time to go fast. We got another one, another Recapture. We got another Sonic Warrior. You know what? If we got some that we already have, I'm just gonna have them on the bottom. We got a Clown Crew, the Clown Crew XYZ. Oh, we got again the normal monster. Oh, this is a new one. Fairy Tail Ball. Like again, this is what I said, the furry archetype. As you can see, they're literally adorable little furries. It's a field spell. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Fairy Tail monster or 1 Fairy Tail Tails from your deck or banishment to your hand. Or banishment, interesting. Your Fairy Tail monsters can attack directly. Okay. Once per turn, if your opponent special summon a monster and you control a Fairy Tail monster, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect. Also, its name becomes Princess of Fairies. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's a good field spell. I wonder if you can search it. Jesse Condon summons. What? It's fine. Oh, we got another like Dino Squad. Oh! Eneacraft Reset. This is the Pendulum Flip control archetype. Place 1 Neapolis from the deck or grave. Face up in your field zone. Or if you control a Neapolis, you can negate the effect of the face-up monster your opponent controls. What a weird way to do this. Up to the number of cards in your pendulum zones instead. That's not bad. So it's a searcher, but if you have the target you're searching, then it becomes a fucking monster negate. Huh. If your opponent activates a card or effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, change an aircraft monster you control to face down the first position, up to the number of cards in your pendulum zones. That's not bad. Huh. That's a good card. For an aircraft, but that's a good card. That's a searcher that becomes a disruption. So you just taking all the knowledge that I said from before. That's really good. And oh, thank you, Luke. And your shiny card, Zeno, is yay! We got an ultra rare. The first ultra rare of today. Fairy Tail Matskiru. It's a weird, like, mouse lady thing. Spellcaster effect. If a spellcaster with monster with 850 additional original attack is on the field, that's a Fairy Tail stats, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn. Expect spellcaster monsters. That's fine, they're all spellcasters anyway. If this card... So this is an extender. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Fairy Tail spell or trap or 1 Fairy Tail Tails from your deck to the grave to your hand. You can pay 500 life points. The name of one effect monster your opponent controls becomes Prince of Fairies. You know what? This is, again, this is an extender that can also be a starter. Nice card. There was once in a stream where hydration wasn't limited and we started drowning the poor guy. I mean, if that happened, I would just turn it off. Alright. So, your second pack. As you know. Up. We got the Red Nova Dragon Assault mode again. Then we have... Ooh, that's a new one. Predaplan Baltea. I hope I pronounced it properly. It's a weird fucking thing. Look at that thing. It's ready to suck. Plant synchro. Level 4, that's a... Did Predaplants had synchros? They're a part of the reason why the spellcaster slop is now a deck. Good to know. If this card is synchro summon, you can special summon one Predaplant or Starving Venom monster from your face-up extra deck or graveyard. Yeah, okay. When it says face-up extra deck, it means pendulums. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can banish one polymerization and discard from your graveyard, fusion summon one fusion monster from the extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field. That's very weird. I mean, having a quick effect fusion that happens from the grave, that activates from the grave, is not bad, but I don't know what. Starlight Rarefall yet? No, I think it's the next one. Look, I might be wrong though. What do we have? We got another Irisiphill. We got another Convex Knight. We got another Gaming Gamer GG! They know. Another VIP whale. This is like, what, the fucking... fourth? Fifth? The fourth VIP whale, I think? Another Hero Flash. Again, get ready to get a lot of multiples by now. Another Fairy Tale of Tales, which is good because this means that these openings will become faster. Good, because I'm running out of time. And then we got your shinies, Flame Tongue, the Burning Blades. Cool looking card. Like, I like how this guy looks. Can you focus on the camera, for fuck's sake? Flame Tongue. 2 fire monsters, link to. Face up spell and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent counter effects. Okay. You can target one of your banished fire monsters, add it to your hand, but you cannot activate cards or effect of cards with its name for the rest of this turn. That's fine. That's alright. Interesting. Very weird fire support. The new Sonic song that was made by Crush 40 Kilos and it was officially... Oh, sung by Hatsune Miku. Wow, the difficulty. They asked the machine to do it. Alright, last pack from the paid ones. And it's Nicola. Nicola, it's your pack. No, you should not read Arctic Meta. Oh my goodness! Another Matriarch. Up, we got Trito and Aircraft, Exapatisia, which we've already like read, so I'm not gonna read it again. It has so much text. Look, this is an average pendulum card. Good luck reading all of that. Especially, but mind you, an aircraft doesn't work exactly like pendulum, so they're a bit. So I give them a pass. They're actually quite interesting as a card. Clown Crew Fiends. Again, we've already drawn this. Another Flower. Humanity Operations, which we've already seen. Archfiend Usurpation. I think we saw that. This is the Ritual Summon. Subspace Battle. We saw that. Another one of the normal monster. What's going on? And last one. Well, yeah, you did sprinkle this pack a bit with magic. We got a very nice super rare. Actually, this is like shiny throughout. Look at that. We got Darkness Resonator. So this was your pack, Nicola. You're right. You can reveal one Red Dragon Archfiend in your extra deck. Special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Synchro monsters. Makes sense? If this card is special summon, you can activate this effect. During your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one Resonator monster in addition to your normal summon. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's a very good card. That's a very good starter. You can target any number of tuners you control, change the level to 1. That's a very good starter. Holy shit. Nice. Okay. Alright, and now if I'm not... Yeah. So, these are the packs that you guys won from the questions in the lecture. So, this is a collective winning, essentially. Let's see. All right, we have the Predaplan Lizard, which we've already seen, a Convex Knight, which we've already gotten, a Heckhand Dandalos, Flower, the Shiny is another Flame Tongue Burning Blade, which we already have. Oh god, what is this? Solving for pendulums. Guys, I did a math question last time on the stream, not another one. It's a continuous trap card. Once per turn during the standby phase, place one T counter on this card. Once per turn, you can target one pendulum monster in your main monster zone. For each T counter on this card, move that pendulum monster to an adjacent horizontal monster zone. Huh? One move at a time. Then after you finish moving, destroy all fusion or XYZ monsters your opponent controls in the same final column, with an equal or lower level or rank than that monster's pendulum scale. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal. What the fuck is this card? What a weird ass card. This is like making any pendulum Yajiro invader but with extra steps. Why do that? Alright. Rusty Mammoth, 50-50, and the last one here which we haven't seen, Possessed Destiny, with a Charmer on it, the Water Charmer. Target one face-up monster on the field, special summon one Charmer or one familiar possessed monster with the same attribute for your from your hand, deck or graveyard in a face-up attack position or face-down defense position, then you can change that target to face-down defense position. What? Okay, got it. So, target the monster on the field, special summon one Charmer or one familiar possessed with the same attribute from your hand, deck or graveyard in face-up attack or face-down, and then turn the other monster face-down. Got it. You can banish this card from your grave, then target one monster you control, change its battle position. That's alright. I can see this working in a pure Charmer deck, but who plays pure Charmers? Which card being busted? The Pendulum Trap? Nah. Nah, because you get one T counter every turn on standby. Oh, do you mean Possessed Destiny? That looks really good. In a pure Charmer card, that looks really good. But you need to run every attribute, essentially, in your main deck to make it work really well. But it's good. It special summons a card and fucking, like, flips face down the other card you're targeting. Alright, what do we have? We have the Clown Crew Fusion. We have the Phantom Mask Master. We have the Tree to an Aircraft. Wildcat. We got another Dinosaur. Northern Crossfire, Summon Soap, Checker, and a Drostia. Okay. Wow, these are going hard. These are going fast. We still have like 6 more packs from this box, so we have enough cards for next week as well. So don't worry, we're not done. Gotta go faster. Okay. Boy. King Resonance. Yeah. Oh, well. Hey. We got a hero card. Is that the hero card if I remember correctly? Miracle Ejector. This card is always treated as an elemental hero card. If this card is in your hand, you can send one Neo Space and monster from the deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card. If this card is normal special summon, you can add one spell or trap that mentions an elemental hero monster's card name on from your deck to your hand. If this card is in the graveyard, you can target one of your opponent's graveyard. One card from your opponent's graveyard, banish it. That's really nice. No, this is an elemental hero support, and it's actually quite good because it searches any spell they want. Oh, we got Ramu, yeah, Rusty Mammoth, Golden Sour Mammoth. Alright, 3 more. Is there a villains card? What? The villains in Yu-Gi-Oh had. Oh, you mean it against the hero? Not like that, no. Although the Dark Hero technically are like the Punisher. Tree to an Aircraft, Wycat, Red Nova. Ooh, we got another like ultra rare. Doom Z, 13 over. Graflario. Cool looking card. This like looks fucking sick. The art. What does it do though? Three level 5 monsters. Once per turn you can also expose this summon Doom Z 13 over Graflario by using one Doom Z XYZ monster you control. Transfer these materials. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can detach one material from this card. Add one Doom Z spell trap from your deck to your hand. That's good. Then you can destroy one card on the field. Wait, so it searches and destroys? God damn! If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special summon one non-Doom Z monster from the deck or graveyard. Good card. Good fucking card. What else do we have? We already seen this. Another Gaming DG, another Pendulum, another 50-50. That's good card. Nice. Search and destroying Yu-Gi-Oh is crazy. It is. It is. Because that's like extension and interruption in the same effect. Unfortunately, that means that you can Ash Blossom it, but you know, that's fine. Oh, we got a Meteor, another one of you, another Soiree. Oh, baby! Alright, this is a card that I am enjoying because do you remember that I like playing Art Maids? Yeah, baby, we got the Power Patron boss monster. Vigilum, the unstable power patron of Unity. This is kind of like the boss monster of the whole Medius lore. So, this will take a while. Nick, are you going to any Yu-Gi-Oh! Local in Dundee? I haven't made a deck yet, but if I do, I might try, Nicola, depending on when it happens, though. You can activate... So, Pendulum Monster, scale 11. You can activate one of these effects. Destroy this card if you... This is the Pendulum skill effect. Destroy this card if you do special summon Power Patron from your hand or graveyard. That's quite good. It's quite good. Destroy this card also for the rest of this turn. Power Patron monsters you choose, whose original level is 12, gain 5,000 attack. Oh my god. And the monster effect of this pendulum is cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon from your extra deck or the grave by returning 3 monsters, 1 fusion, 1 synchro, 1 XYZ from the face-up field or grave to the extra deck. That's hard to do. Unaffected by monster effects except Power Patron monsters. Oh god, you're unaffected. Okay. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add 1 Power Patron card from your deck to your hand. That's good. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card is special summoned, banish face down all cards in the graveyards. Jesus Christ. Okay, sir, calm down. But it's bans, but it's so everywhere. If I ever make a deck, yeah, I will try it. Absolutely. But I'll try to make a deck that I actually play in Master Duel so I don't have problem with reading. Alright, and the last pack for today, and right on time, is... I said is... There we go. Right. One more of those. Another Wake Up. Another Predaplant. Oh, a new face. Ooh. Oh, so this is the Fairy Tail fusion. That's a normal human. What the fuck? There it is. Weaver of Fairy Tales. Oh, that's cool. The store in Dundee that I have had a regional at some point, Nicholas, so it definitely has Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. So 1 Fairy Tail monster plus 1 spellcaster monster. Fairy Tails are spellcasters as well. All Prince of Fairies on the field become spellcaster monsters. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Fairy Tail monster from your deck or banishment. Oh! Once per turn, huh? Sorry, just activated. This is not like by summon or anything, just by existing. Okay. You can only use this effect of Fairy Tail once per turn, that's fine. If you normal or special summon a non-Earth Fairy Tail monster, while this card is in your monster zone, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect. Also, its name becomes Prince of Fairies. That's really good. That's really good. And that's not once per turn! Alright, well done. Good card. Alright, Usurpation, Gamer See? Pega hands and Once Upon a Fairy Tale. That looks adorable. It's like kids listening to a fairy tale around the bookstore. Cool. Special summon up to one light fairy tale monster Wait, what? Special summon up to one light fairy tale monster. Each from your hand, graveyard, and banishment, with different names. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except spellcaster monsters. If this card is banished or sent to the graveyard except from the field, you can set this card. But it cannot be activated unless you control a fairy tale monster. Really? That's really cool. Nice, that's a good searcher. Nice. Good holo. We got some good cards. Well done, everybody. Klappa klappa. And we finished right on time. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope this was like quite fun for you. It was really fun for me to make, even though I didn't do it as thorough as I would love to, but limited time, unfortunately. And I will be back next time on Monday. What am I playing on Monday? No fucking clue. I'll have to figure it out. But damn, they have a Chaos Origin premiere event. You should... Oh, yes! Chaos Origin looks fun, as I said. We'll open packs from it when it comes out, but it's not out yet. But yeah, with that said though, that's the end for today. Big thanks, first of all, to Zach.com for the follow. And really big thanks to every single one of you for keeping me company. And actually watching the presentation. I hope at the very least it was a bit insightful. So next time I play Yu-Gi-Oh! On the stream, it will make a bit more sense. Or at the very least, who is original of Chaos? Chaos Dragon, the bringer of the end. But yeah, with that said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for keeping me company. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you all on Monday with streaming a video game. Which video game? No idea. But until then, we'll see. But yeah, have a phenomenal day and have a phenomenal weekend, guys. See you next week.